Here is the Electro-Harmonix Microsynthesizer. I got this in about 2003. It is not the old school version that has the plug installed in it, but it is the old school version, the medium school version. Very cool guitar synthesizer. My second pedal ever. I've used it for many years. Has some little bit of wear and tear on it. Lost a screw or two down here. Amazing piece of equipment. So I'll take you through the controls really quickly. For one thing, it is 24 volt for power, which means you either need to use its unique power supply, or like me, you need to get yourself a custom-made power supply with a 24 volt output, because I'm special like that. Got a switch, on off, outside of the switch. The trigger slider indicates how loud the volume has to be to trigger the frequency envelope, the filter envelope. There's 4 voices: sub-octave, guitar, octave, and square wave. Octave in this case means octave like +1, not -1, and sub-octave is -1. Square wave is just a square wave, very simple synthesizer tone. Attack delay is essentially a volume swell at the beginning of your note attack. Then here's the filter. There's a resonance and a resonance knob. Start and stop frequency, so you can control like the width of your sweep, and then rate how fast your sweep goes. You can coax a lot of tones out of this little mammer jammer. And to aid me in that quest, I have my Sovtech Big Muff, which I like to put in front of it. Can make some really cool lead sounds like that. Just a simple compressor would do most of the same job, but this adds a little bit of grit that I like. Got my Kingston, got my Big Muff, got my micro-synth, set to jet. So right now I just have the guitar signal, the original guitar signal, all the way up, nothing else up. I have the start and stop frequencies all the way at the top, but the resonance is all the way down and the trigger is all the way down, so it doesn't really matter. So first I'm just going to show you the voices. So guitar signal, a small volume boost, sub-octave. Note that it doesn't track with chords, it's only monophonic. Tracks pretty well. Here's the octave up. So obviously there's some harmonic distortion going on there. Here's the square wave, my fave. Which can kind of do some chordal stuff. Okay, I'm gonna put the guitar about halfway up. Actually, guitar all the way up, and I'll go through the filter section. So first there's the attack delay, all the way down, halfway up. Nice swell in, all the way up. I'll turn the resonance up on the filter and the trigger up, so you can hear it a little bit more. Turn the rate up a little bit so it's easier to hear. So that's with the start frequency at the top and the stop frequency at the bottom. If I put the stop frequency about halfway up, which is where I normally leave it, it's a little bit more subtle. Or you can reverse them all together. I personally like it with the start at about 3/4 of the way up, and stop at about 1/4 of the way up, and the rate at about halfway. So here's what that sounds like with a sub-octave. Turn the rate up to 1/4 of the way up. I'll reverse the start and the stop frequency. And now I'll try it with the octave. Reverse. And now with a square wave. And reversed. Alright, I'm going to turn, I'm going to make a mix. So I'm going to put the guitar halfway up, sub-octave 3/4 of the way up, octave 1/4 of the way up, and square wave all the way up. Let's see what happens if I reverse that filter sweep. And let's slow it down a little bit, the rate. I'm going to take the resonance down to halfway. Turn the resonance up to 3/4. And put the attack delay up 1/4 of the way. Pretty cool synth sound. Pretty cool, well-tracking guitar synth lead. I'm going to kick on my big muff. I'm going to take out the square wave and just turn up the guitar. Alright, guitar down to half, square wave up to 3/4, octave up all the way. Okay, sorry, the big muff has helped me in the past in some situations, but right now it's tracking really well. Basically, you want some kind of compression in front of it in case the tracking is not going so well, so you can kind of like squash it and make it louder, so I can hear it a little bit better. But I guess probably because I'm not in a band situation right now, there's not as much competing noise. That might not make sense, but that's my theory. octave down. Sub-octave is at 3/4. Turn the guitar all the way off. Very cool guitar synth. I'm gonna do some tunes for you. Let's do So that's the microsynth. Pretty cool microsynth. Pretty cool guitar synthesizer. I think they have a new model, the Nano model, which is not that much smaller, but it may be a sturdier casing and probably, hopefully at least, with a 9-volt adapter instead of a 24-volt adapter. So check it out. It's a pretty great device.